Hi Grumps, welcome to another 10 of the most annoying things people get caught doing in public. I'm sure there's loads more, so let me know in the comments the things that really annoy you the most. But let's dive straight in, try to stay calm as I start with number 10 on my list. And that's people who try to board trains before letting others off. So picture the scene, the doors open and people are waiting to get off, and boom, a stampede piles on like it's the last helicopter out of Afghanistan. Bags hitting faces, elbows everywhere. I saw a bloke once try and push on before Granny could get out. She smacked him over the head with her umbrella so hard he stumbled backwards off the platform. You should have heard the cheers. It was brilliant. And these people always look confused, like, why won't you move? Well, Brian, it's because of physics. We can't teleport past you. Humanity at its best, honestly, it really is. And at number 9 today, we have people who clap when the plane lands. The plane touches down and suddenly there's applause, like the pilot's just defused a bomb. He hasn't, he's just landed a plane. That's his job. It's the very least I expect the pilot to do. You don't clap the bus driver for not crashing into a lamppost. And it's always the same. They start clapping while the plane's still taxiing. We're bombing down the runway at 200 miles an hour and some bloke's whacking his hands together like a performing seal. I was once on a Ryanair flight where people clapped twice. Once when we landed and then again when the seatbelt sign went off. Double applause like we'd just survived a war. Honestly, if you clap when the plane lands, you should be parachuted straight out mid-air so you can clap on the way down to earth. At number 8 is people filming fights instead of helping. Society has reached the point where two lads scrapping outside Wetherspoons is basically a spectator sport. Someone gets punched, blood everywhere, and instead of calling an ambulance, people whip out their phones shouting, "World Star!" And the commentary's always pathetic. It's like, "Oh, go on, Dave, hit him, Steve," like they're pundits on Sky Sports. Mate, you're not Jamie Carragher. You're filming two drunks in Slough fighting over a pizza. I once saw a lad fall over mid-fight and smack his head on a bin. Pretty dangerous and could have been serious. Did anyone help? No, they just zoomed in on the blood for TikTok. So that's where we are now. The Romans had gladiators and we've got two drunk lads wrestling in a car park while teenagers film vertically. Evolution's really showing off. My number 7 today is public rage over nothing. We've all witnessed it. A grown man having a meltdown in Costa because his flat white came with the wrong milk. I said almond, not oat. The barista's 19, earning minimum wage, and this bloke's acting like he's just been denied entry into the UN. And they always add, "I'm never coming here again." As if this is going to topple a global coffee empire. Costa won't close, Pret won't fold, and Starbucks won't collapse because you didn't get your syrup shot. I once saw a bloke kick off in Pret because his sandwich was too cold. A sandwich? Not lasagna? What temperature did you expect it to be? Hot enough to cauterise wounds? He ranted so long a woman next to him just muttered, "It's a sandwich, love," and then walked out. He looked like someone had just unplugged him from the Matrix. It was classic. At number 6 is food tasters at supermarkets. We're not talking about free samples here. Those, they're fine. We're talking about people who treat supermarkets like an all-you-can-eat buffet. Opening grapes, crisps, biscuits, eating as they go, basically. By the time they reach the till, they've eaten enough to feed a family of 4. But they scan one empty packet and act like they've been caught smuggling diamonds. I saw one woman once eat half a pack of ham while she was shopping. She just stood there by the frozen peas, shoving slices into her mouth like she'd been starved for days. And she looked proud of it. She smiled at me like we were on some sort of secret. "Don't worry, I'll pay for it." Will you? Because I'm fairly sure you've inhaled a Kit Kat and a packet of Scampi fries since aisle 3. Number 5. People who argue with shop staff about returns. There's a special circle of hell for the person who tries to return a toaster from 2006 with no receipt when it's covered in crumbs and smelling like burnt cheese. They slam it on the counter demanding a refund. "It's faulty." Mate, it's not faulty, it's a bloody antique. You see examples of this behaviour every day. The poor cashier's on her own with a manager who's gone to lunch. Meanwhile, this woman's losing her mind over her candle. It didn't smell enough like lavender. Well, newsflash, love, you set it on fire. What did you expect it to smell like? Enlightenment? I once saw a bloke try to return socks, worn socks with holes in them, and his argument was they shouldn't wear out that quick. Quick? You've clearly marched to Mordor and back in them, you tight git. Moving on to number 4, overly enthusiastic joggers. You've seen them. Neon vests, headbands, gadgets strapped to every limb, pounding down the pavement like they're running the London Marathon. Except they're just circling the park 3 times and scaring the pigeons. I once had one jog up behind me, slap my back and yell, "Keep it up, mate." I wasn't even running. I was drinking a can of Red Bull. I nearly bloody choked to death. And the noises they make, deep dramatic breathing, sighing, panting, like they want everyone to know they're burning calories. Mate, I get it, you're sweaty. We can smell you from 200 yards away. And they always insist on overtaking you as close as possible, brushing your elbow with their lycra-clad thighs. Congratulations, Barry. You have run 2 kilometres. Have a medal. We're getting close to my number 1 today, but at number 3, I've got people who treat coffee shops like an office. You know the ones, you've seen it. You go into Starbucks for a coffee and there's always that one bloke who's clearly moved in. Laptop, extension cord, multiple chargers, spread across 3 tables. He's been there since 8 AM on one small Americano. Staff are too scared to ask him to leave in case he sues for squatters' rights. I once sat next to a bloke with so much gear plugged in the cafe lights dimmed when he hit print. He looked insulted like I'd invaded his privacy. And the best part? He glared at me when I slurped my latte, like I was interrupting his workflow. You're not running NASA, you're playing solitaire with milk foam on your chin. Get a grip. It's ridiculous. At number 2, it's people who eat messy food at the cinema. Nachos. Why? Crunch, slurp, crunch. It's like sitting next to a cement mixer. And the cheese smell, it's like warm feet. Lovely atmosphere for a thriller. Once I sat next to a bloke who brought in a Chinese takeaway, actual foil containers. Opened them mid-film, sweet and sour chicken, wafting through the air while people gagged. Chopsticks clattering in the dark. At one point he asked me to hold the sauce. No mate, bugger off, I'm watching Batman. And then it escalates. Popcorn, crinkling sweet wrappers for 2 hours. People opening cans with a hiss so loud you think there's a gas leak. Honestly, cinemas should serve silent food only. Mashed potato, maybe soup through a straw. And my number 1 most annoying thing people do in public is pavement blockers. Yep, this one really raises my blood pressure. You're walking at an adjacent pace, maybe even late for a train, and then bam, someone stops dead right in front of you to check Google Maps. No warning, human roadblock. And you slam into them like a crash test dummy. The worst of the groups, a group of 5 side by side, taking up the entire pavement, moving slower than dial-up internet. You try to pass, but no, they shuffle just enough to block you, like they've rehearsed it. Pavements should have lanes. Fast walkers, slow walkers, and a 3rd lane for people FaceTiming their nan while swerving like drunk shopping trolleys straight into traffic. Well, that's it for today, Grumps. If you like my list, please add yours in the comments below, as I know there's loads more. If you haven't already seen it, take a look at my other video on this topic, if you can stay calm enough. Bye for now, Grumps.